Hello, everyone. This is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. And yet again, I brought on another fantastic group of independent comic book creators. We're a little short today, but that's okay. Some people couldn't make it. That's fine. Good luck to those guys. I mean, seriously, good luck to you guys. I hope you guys are feeling better. Hope your family's feeling better. But in a pinch, I brought out a pinch hitter.
What's up, pinch hitter? There you go.
Yes, sir.
Hey, everybody. Am I supposed to introduce myself? I'm Randy Zimmerman,
yes,
Arrow Comics, Indy Comics Network. I do 2 shows, one early Friday morning called Comics by Night, where we show off great comic book stuff, and another one on Sunday morning called Sunday Funnies, where we show off a bunch of oddball stuff that we love and inspires us to keep working in this wonderful world of comics. So you can see all my stuff over at arrowcomics.store. Everything that's available.
And listen, normally Jay's sitting over there.
Mm-hmm.
This is an improvement. Vast improvement.
Thanks for the flattery.
No, listen, what does he used to say? Time to learn something. Right?
Yeah.
You listen to Jay long enough, you just lose IQ points. But anyway, let's move on.
Is that what it is? All right.
Yeah, I've listened to him a lot. I think I've gotten dumber over the last few years. But anyway. No, I'm only joking. Jay's cool.
Max.
What's up?
What's up, Max? Please introduce yourself, sir.
I'm Max Devill, founder of Atrocity Press. You can find me at atrocitypress.com. It's got all our social media links, all of our store stuff, all of our news comes out there first, like a week before it hits social media. It'll come out on the website. So just drop by, check it out, and get everything Atrocity Press.
All right, cool. And we have Sean Wood. Sean. What's up, Sean? How you doing?
My name is Sean Wood. I have The Fog Within #1 on Kickstarter right now. It's my first book, so I'm fresh into this.
All right, cool. And technically, our other co-host or co-host or however you want to phrase it.
It takes a little bit for me to put myself together. Hello.
Hey there.
Fashionably late.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Fashionably late. Or I come in exactly when I am supposed to.
There you are. Yes.
A wizard is never late.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're all wizards here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you notice, like, she's there, and how well lit she is? How professional that looks.
Look, this is all deliberate.
What the hell?
You think I could just come on YouTube all willy-nilly?
What the hell? Anyway, Daphne, please introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992 with this goof right here. And I am known for our furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter in 2024. And currently, I am known for my mature audience's medieval fantasy drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which is currently on Kickstarter on its last 4 or 5 days. I don't remember which. I don't usually check it on the weekends. I am also co-host with Nita Lanning on the Rage Into the Vlogs show every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern on the Indy Comics Network. And in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales, TAILS online.com and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can also check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my own channel at Daphne Lage Art. That's Lage, by the way.
Very good, very good. We should get Einstein his own camera.
No, we will not give Einstein his own camera. No, we will not.
Einstein is the bird in the background.
Yeah, that's those noises in the background. So if you're just joining us, if you hear anything weird in the background, it's a parrot.
It's a parrot.
You do not need to change your batteries in your smoke detector.
Yeah, we'd probably get a lot more views. just from people watching the damn parrot. Anyway, so
you'd be surprised. There's people that watch these otters at the the San Diego Zoo on Twitch,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
get they get hundreds of viewers at a time.
I have it's like on Twitch I watch a stream of just chickens chilling in someone's yard.
It's a chicken chill stream.
Yes, it really is. It really is. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. With Einstein, it would probably just be him trying to trying to look all psychotic the way he looks all the time.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's start. Let's start. So the show question is Kickstarter too big of a? Is it too large of a strategy? Too large of our business strategy, right? I mean, that's one of those things that I was thinking about. I had to cancel a campaign. I goofed up. I canceled the campaign. It took them 10 days for them to approve my next campaign, right? And during that period, I was like, damn it, this is taking too long. What's going on? What if they never approve it, right? So I had to sit back and really think about, what would happen if they didn't approve it, right? Is this too big of a portion of my business, right? So there it is. That's the question. Max, what are your thoughts on it?
You can make it too much of your business. I mean, it's possible. I mean, you could just run Kickstarters and that's all you do, and then it's probably too much of your business because it's your only avenue of accessing your audience. Now, if you got your own website, you got your own other digital platforms and stuff like that you can hit up. You have to. It's don't put your eggs in all in one basket type of thing. Really, is what I'm trying to say. For diversify your comic and your properties as much as you possibly can. I mean, there are new crowdfunding platforms that are coming out all the time, so you can explore working with some of those. But I mean, the fact of the matter is that Kickstarter's king, so you got to use it, and if you don't, you're a dumbass.
Well, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I mean, it's just where the people are right now. It's the crescent wrench of comic book crowdfunding. I mean, it's like everyone says, I'm going to run a Kickstarter on Indiegogo.
I hate it when it does that automatically. Right.
And they'll say I'm going to run a Kickstarter on Indiegogo because everyone just says Kickstarter. They see Kickstarter as crowdfunding. They've made that because I mean a crescent wrench isn't really a crescent wrench; it's an adjustable wrench. But the brand name was Crescent, so everyone calls it a crescent wrench. So the brand name is Kickstarter, so everyone calls it a Kickstarter, no matter what platform it's being run on. At least people that don't really in the know.
800-pound gorilla of crowdfunding. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what it is. Sean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, so being new into it, I don't have anything else yet. This is what gave me the idea that I could do this to at least start. It's definitely not the only thing that I want to do in the future, but Kickstarter wasn't around, I probably would never have made my book because it costs so much, to start as a writer. That's the only thing that made it possible for me to start the whole process. So.
Fair enough. And yes, we agree. It is very expensive.
Yeah, it is definitely not cheap. It doesn't get any cheaper. It just gets a little easier because you've made some money from a different project that you can throw at the new project.
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't cost as much this time, but it still costs.
Yeah, it's not as painful. It's just painful, but not as painful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Randy, what are your thoughts?
I completely agree with Max, except for the Kickstarter being the only game in town.
No,
it's the biggest game in town.
He said
Biggest
the
game in town.
Yeah.
It's the biggest
But
game in town.
You do have to spread yourself off into as many different areas and not necessarily platforms. I mean, every source of revenue that you can possibly generate is still money coming in, no matter how small it is. You're still getting some money and you're putting a foot in the door in a different direction. So You know, I'm a big proponent for alternative distributors. You had Frank Forte on here yesterday, or not yesterday, last week. He had a ton of great information and different sources to go look for and look through for other means to get income in, and there will be a lot more in the days to come. You just have to keep your eyes open
Spinner
and
racks are
stay on
coming
the
back.
workout. Spinner racks are coming back. Yep.
I mean, they really are. I mean,
They
they're coming back in more adult venues like dispensaries and stuff like that, but they're still coming back, and that's a good thing, because if
Well,
you can
comics
get
have
those,
evolved since they were out too, so they've gotten
but I
more
mean, if
adult
you can
as
get
well.
them, you can get them into that. I mean, that's what they were originally for,
Mhm.
anyways. I mean, but you know, you get it back into the hands of the adults with the money, and
Yeah.
there you go.
There you are.
That's it. Now, and we're joined by Guido Martinez. What's up? What's up, Guido? How you doing? Can you hear us? Hello.
Uh-oh.
Let's see.
He's
Uh-oh.
there.
I think
Yeah,
he's frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not muted on our end, so that's something
Yeah.
going on his end.
Yeah.
Hi.
Your sound is not coming through. Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Hi. Sorry, I came in late. I'm fresh off putting the kids to sleep.
There you are.
That's fine. Guido, please introduce
Can you
yourself.
hear me? I think
Yeah.
think there's.
Yep. We
Well,
can
there's
hear
a
you.
delay.
Thanks.
There's
So
definitely a delay.
I'm Guido Martinez. Yeah.
Yeah, there must be a
Okay.
delay.
I'm going to give just in case a bit of time to make up for the delay. Uh, well, my name is Guido Martinez. I'm a writer and letterer for comic books. Lately, my creator-owned series is being published by Filbo Publishing. You can find the first collected trade right now on Kickstarter. It's called Night, and this collected trade compiles issues 1 to 4 that make up the first story arc. Um, if you need to know about me, I'm from Buenos Aires, Argentina, and well, I will do my best to speak English as clearly as possible. And if you notice a weird accent, that's probably it. So, well, I hope I didn't miss anything important. I didn't want to interrupt, but here I am now interrupting you guys. So I don't know.
No, that's fine.
What else
Listen,
can we say?
exactly. Since we all have weird accents, I'm from New York, so it doesn't get much weirder than that, you know.
The whole cavalcade of weird accents here.
Exactly.
from the Midwest.
Yep. Exactly. So Guido, so I have a question for you. So everybody was just going around the table or around the panel. Do you feel that Kickstarter is too big of a section of our business, right? That it's too important a portion of our business for us to have, right? And you know, is there something else we could do about it?
Well, y- yeah. Personally, yes. Will say that it is part of a big part of our business because it's the easiest way to sell a comic book and to get funds that allow not just the production of the book, but also to print extra copies, right? Because at least in my case, I I produce the book with funds that I get from lettering other books and doing some scripts uh, just on demand for people. And well, I put all of that into producing the book, but eventually it's not enough. So I need to find a way to sell the book even before it is done. Luckily for me, that part is done for this trade. The book is entirely produced, but with previous issues, it was necessary because otherwise I would have to put together a lot more capital to produce one issue and then then start looking for alternatives to sell it. Kickstarter allows both to get money in advance, to let you produce the book, and to sell it. You make your first sales, as well as collecting the money in advance and allowing you to produce. Also, if you want to sell it for small publishers, it's hard to, I don't know, get into diamond. Easiest outlet for sales would be to attend cons, get a table, and sell. But of course, you need funds to print, not just to produce, but to print a batch of books. So Kickstarter definitely helps with all that, and it's great because it not only connects you to potential customers that are just that are in at a con that stop by your table. It connects you to potential customers that can be anywhere in the world. Of course, it's not always easy, but yeah, it's a large customer database, and it's well, not database. It's a large customer base, but
Yeah.
it's it's great, and it's well. Although lately there has been a significant drop in backers from Kickstarter. At least it's what I've noticed on the projects I've been involved, and I've also been told that backer numbers are starting to go down across multiple projects. But it's still the largest customer base, and the first customer base that, as creators, many have access to. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the
that's my
economic
answer would
downturn
be
is really
100% yes.
the economic downturn is really kind of starting to show itself on Kickstarter, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's weird because I mean, Daphne and I both have campaigns, but I know you got one running, right, Max?
Yep.
Guido's got one. Daphne's seen a slowdown. I've seen a slowdown. If Jay was here, he would have probably mentioned it as well, right? It's just weird,
Although,
Um,
ironically, Kickstarter and I guess like in a presentation they did at San Diego Comic-Con,
Yeah.
they said that actually more projects are getting funded on Kickstarter. So now to do a comic book Kickstarter, you have a 75% chance of funding as opposed to 65, I guess, like a year or so ago. So that might also be a part of it too. It's like, yeah, more campaigns being funded might mean that the money is getting spread out a little bit more at the expense of everybody else.
true.
It could be more people are putting their goals at $500 just to
Well, that's true too. It could be
just to
that people got a
game the
little smarter.
algorithm.
People got a little smarter.
Yes.
I mean, Neil Gaiman is
Yes.
up there, right?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
At
The risk.
almost 2.5 million,
Yep.
right? With 31,000 backers. Like, how do we tap into that market? Right?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
big question. It's like I don't even want 10%. If I can get 1% of his crowd,
We need
I'd
to be
happy.
Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
But Neil's put
Yeah.
in his time,
Well,
right? He's
that's record-breaking numbers.
mhm.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
yeah, because it tickles the algorithm when you can say that you're 200-300%
Yeah.
funded, rather than if you ask for all your money all at once and you're like, oh, you're 100% funded, yay.
Right.
Right.
So Daphne, do you have
Yeah.
any thoughts on the question?
Well, probably for me, I mean, I probably do depend a little too much on Kickstarter. But for somebody who's really not interested in any of the other distribution models that are available out there, including going on other platforms, I'm actually looking outside of that. To kind of like mix things up a bit for myself. I reactivated an Etsy store that I had since 2015, and I closed it because I didn't know what to do with it. And I'm going to experiment with not only selling comics on there, but just like just like kind of getting into like separate items, like getting into like stickers and stationery and such, something separate, but it's still an extension of what I do. In the end, I mean, for me, Kickstarter, I really had to think about like why I was on Kickstarter to begin with. And in the end, it's just giving me an opportunity to finish this series or to finish my comics just in general. So that's just how I look at it. All the other new platforms, I played around with BackerKit for a little bit. And, you know, I've seen Crowdfunder, I've seen, you know, Fund My Comic and even like Indiegogo. It's like those platforms require you to have an audience already. Where on Kickstarter, you can actually kind of come in not knowing anything and you can actually build an audience from Kickstarter. I wouldn't recommend it being your sole build, but and honestly, I just don't feel like I have the energy to do that from scratch on every platform that's out there. So I'd rather just try to do something different and use Kickstarter to just fund the rest of my series.
Yeah, Kickstarter definitely has a much better promotional algorithm than any other crowdfunding site out there. I mean, it's really good at determining what you like when it comes to your comics and suggesting stuff to you at the bottom. I mean, if you look at your Kickstarter analytics, it always shows you. It's like, hey, everything came from emails from Kickstarter and Kickstarter. That's where all your traffic came from. That's where everyone's
it is. I mean, the trick is trying to get those people to your other platforms, like to your website, to your mailing list, and you know, and nurturing it from there.
Yeah, like I said, I asked the question because, you know, I spent this 10-day period fretting over how long it's going to take them to approve.
If there was ever a guy I could say is a Kickstarter addict,
I'm the junkie.
He was fiending. He was fiending. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really. He was practically doing that.
Yeah.
You couldn't talk to him. You couldn't do anything. Because all he would obsess about was like, they haven't approved it yet. They haven't approved it yet.
Yep. And you know, it's one of those things, right? You know, some people they scroll and that's how they get their little dopamine hits. You know, whenever I get backed, that's my dopamine hit. So that's how I work it.
I leave mine up. Mine's up all the time on my other monitor.
Oh, there you go.
No. I don't do that. I check it.
I fuck that thing all day long. No, I'm always looking at it. It's always sitting there.
I stopped doing that. It's
could become an addiction.
It was so stressful.
No, really, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah. It's a good thing I have a day job that won't allow me to hold a phone. So. Else I'd probably be there all the time doing that.
No, I check it once a day, and I don't check it on the weekends. That's why I don't know. I don't know right now as we speak. I'm not even sure how many days I have left.
I always try to keep it so I can maintain my messages and stuff like that people send me. That way I can do that. That's usually what I try to keep it up for.
The only thing that I know for sure is that they have like preemptively not allowed certain people on, but it's kind of rare. Although lately they have been kicking off campaigns that are using AI without admitting that they are. So that's kind of what's going on now. But they're on Kickstarter, I don't think there's a shadow ban.
I don't think they shadow ban you. They just tell you, hey, you're off the fucking platform. Sorry, bye.
Yeah, it's like either one or the other. Yeah.
They just want to prove your project. You're like, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
And listen, that's much better than shadow banning. At least you know where you stand.
Yeah, exactly. None of that shadow banning crap where it's just like, why is no one backing my project? And then you Google search it and you're like, how come I can't find this thing? Why can't I find it on the Kickstarter search? And they don't do that. And that's nice of them enough to where they don't bother with it, because other platforms such as Indiegogo will.
Yeah.
shadow ban you.
They will.
Mhm. Yeah, which is just bizarre. It's just better just not to accept the damn project and just
Exactly.
Yeah.
move on, you know.
Doesn't
Yeah.
make
But
any
everybody
sense.
always. But what's funny is, like I said, I spent this 10-day period and it had me thinking, what if this happens, right?
Mhm.
So I think I'm gonna go back. I've done Indiegogos before. I didn't raise a lot of money, but I did raise some money. So I think I'm gonna try it again just to see, and maybe try to build up. I may even go to Luke's platform, Fund My Comic, and try something there just to see. Because in the end, I think it is important for us to, like Max said, don't put all our eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Start trying to nurture these other places
Mhm.
to see if we can get a real competitor
Mhm.
to Kickstarter,
Oh, yeah.
for this money.
Mhm.
Because, and here's the thing: if you could raise $3,000 on one, $1,000 on another, $2,000 on the other, that only helps you out.
That's it.
In the end,
Yep.
right? So if you can double
Yes.
or triple your money by going on these other platforms, because there are people that don't like buying on Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, there are people that
That's the
don't like buying
craziest
on Kickstarter. There are like people
Yeah.
that don't like buying on
Yeah.
Indiegogo. People that
Right.
don't like buying
Well,
on.
what's funny is that Backer
Crowdfunder.
Kit was
Yes.
supposed to be the heir apparent. And I mean, does anybody hear anything about Backer Kit?
Mm-mm.
I
You
use
know,
Backer
like-
Kit for their email capabilities.
right.
Right.
That's it.
That's what I've heard about them.
No. Yeah.
Oh,
I
It's-
mean,
your
it costs
comments are not.
My
shadow
comments
banned.
shadow banned.
Oh yeah.
No.
it costs $100,
Show.
but being able
I
to
don't
get
think so.
Yes.
it costs $100, but being able to get all of your previous backers as a mailing list
Mhm.
has been invaluable to this campaign that we're doing right now. It's the first time we've used Backer Kit for anything like that, and it shot us up over goal in 24 hours, which was pretty impressive for this book that we do. I mean, the Ninja Bimbos book it's never like a huge break the bank made $20,000 comic book or anything. It's always about an $8,000 book, and we're right on target. So I'm not upset.
Cool. So
Well, the
Daphne-
other thing I think you need to keep in mind is that these platforms have a tendency, and call me cynical, but I've seen it happen to too many friends, too many times, in too many different ways. These platforms always have a tendency of moving that goalpost or changing their rules
Yeah.
or
Yep.
deciding in a whim that they're going to add a new policy or whatever that you just don't fit in.
Right.
So you have
Right.
to almost spread yourself out, or at least be aware of where those other platforms are, because tomorrow everything could change. I've seen Amazon do it,
Yeah.
Patreon do it,
Yeah.
YouTube do it.
Mhm.
It's going all the way down the line, and you know that it's happened before. It's going to happen again.
Yeah.
I mean, if
And
Kickstarter said no more Bad Girl books,
you got to be ready for that. Yeah,
we'd all be in trouble.
yeah.
Well, I mean, for a little while, I was expecting them to go, it's like if you're not a celebrity, we're
Yeah.
not going to, we're not going to put the algorithm in your favor, because that's what happened to YouTube. YouTube was, like started off on all the small creators, and then once all these fucking Kardashian wannabes came on the scene, they actually changed their algorithm to benefit people who really didn't need it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when the whole frenzy with Berserker and Keanu Reeves was happening, I was really afraid that that's exactly what was going to happen to Kickstarter. That all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, you're not Keanu Reeves, so, good luck with you. The odds are not in your favor.
Well, plus they have a bad tendency of throwing in.
Now it's Neil
I don't know if-
Gaiman or
Yeah.
Ryan Pulido. So yeah.
Yep. Plus they change czars or controllers. I
Yeah,
don't-
they did. Yeah.
like you never know when the next one's coming in
Yeah.
is going to decide, well, Bad Girl books objectify women, I'm not going to carry that. You can't have anything harder than an R-rated or a light or a hard PG-13,
that's for sure.
and
yeah.
all of those other books are gone.
Oh, and
and out
that
of
could
there. You
easily
can't-
happen
yeah.
too. We've seen
Very
platforms,
easily on
yeah,
any
we've seen
platform. Yeah.
platforms
The thing is,
say it's like, okay,
honestly,
sorry,
I think
we
the
built
market
your
for
back.
Bad Girl books.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the market for Bad Girl books is it's too big. If
No, don't.
Kickstarter
It's like
happens to ban them, Indiegogo is going to blow up completely with
never,
those.
No.
never believe anything is too big
Trust me.
to not be tinkered with.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Because, like I said, it's like, a lot of platforms they build their foundation on pornographers and adult content, and then when they get to a certain point, now it's like, oh, now you're all banned.
Yep.
We're not allowed to. We're not allowed to have you guys on here anymore.
Yeah, thanks for all the work you did. Peace
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
Who would ever think
Exactly.
YouTube would start frowning on swearing and expletives?
Look, you can't even do
out of the blue.
You can't even talk about World War II and mention Hitler by name. You're
Yeah.
talking in context to World War II, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and you cannot say the German chancellor's name.
Yeah.
Even though you just
It's ridiculous.
you demonetized me. Terrible.
Right. Well, it's a good thing we weren't monetized to begin with.
This is. I wasn't looking to get that 40 cents anyway.
Yeah.
There you go. Bing, bing.
Can't say
Wait,
the word
is
Nazi.
this going up on YouTube? Is this going
Yeah.
up on YouTube?
This-
Because
Yeah.
Yeah, this is all on YouTube.
you need to
yeah.
bleep those out.
Oh yeah. No,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
okay.
you
I
should
can live
leave
without the
those
40
out.
cents. It's fine.
You're gonna get a warning.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. Exactly.
Showing off
Daphne,
some.
you
I
got
was
a
showing
question?
off. No, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, so speaking of Neil Gaiman, right? So speaking of Neil Gaiman, so here is the campaign that him and Colleen Duran are running with, I guess, like Terry Pratchett's organization or foundation or whatnot. $2.5 million, 31,000 backers. Okay. Why isn't this getting the same buzz as Keanu Reeves? Why is it that 31,000 people buying comic books is not getting any traction at all? The whole idea of it.
Well,
What do you-
because
what do
it's
you
not
mean by
Keanu
traction?
Reeves.
Well, the
It's not
fact
Keanu
that
Reeves.
you see, but that's the thing, though, is that
Yeah.
like why was Keanu Reeves heralded as some kind of a savior of comics?
Oh, because
And then
he's
you
a
have
superstar actor.
and you have this campaign raising $2.5 million on a comic,
I mean,
and nobody really. I don't hear any talk about it.
people know who Neil Gaiman
It's-
are or is.
Oh,
Excuse me.
look at that shit still blue, right?
Yeah,
Just keep going. People know
Yeah,
who Neil
they
Gaiman
know,
is
they
in the
know.
comic book group.
It's just that
But-
he's not Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Neil Gaiman isn't murdering 400 people per movie. So yeah, that's the difference.
But the thing is, though, it's like, as Jose said,
Not yet, of course.
31,000 people.
Well, we'll
are
see when
buying
season
comics.
3 hits.
It's a recognizable property to start with. I didn't even realize that Gaiman was associated with the book. I just assumed it was Colleen Duran pulling in that kind of attention plus the name of the property.
Yeah,
So,
no,
because the series
Yeah.
is really good.
yeah, it's him and Terry Pratchett. They wrote a prose
Okay.
novel years ago.
Yeah,
The two of them,
Mhm.
and they released a book. The book was a good book.
Mhm.
They did the TV show, and now they're doing the comic, and it's just
Yeah.
like, okay, and the TV show, like Randy said, is very good. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah, Terry
know,
Pratchett's always good.
it's a fun show.
Yeah. But it's one of these things, like Daphne just said, why is it that no one it's actually, I think, surpassed how much Berserker made, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think
Yeah, I
so.
think
Yes.
Berserker made
Yes,
2.1 or 2.2 million. It's at 2.5, and it's nowhere near done. It's got 3 more days. It might get up to 3 million.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably will.
I
Everybody was mad at Berserker because it didn't have any vowels in the title anyway.
Yeah.
Well, how else were they going to trademark it?
Just kidding.
I think that, I mean, it's Keanu Reeves he's just an international superstar to where a lot of
1.4.
the regular people, the non-comic community, the non-comic crowd could latch on to something like Keanu Reeves. I mean, you go out there and and you tell the comic community, hey, Neil Gaiman's going to be here. Everyone's going to be like, oh my God, it's going to be Neil Gaiman. It's going to be so cool. But my buddy down the streets is going to be like, who the fuck is this guy with the crazy hair?
Right. True enough. I mean, Sean, you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, well, for one, if it wasn't for the show first, for all the non-comic readers in the first place, I don't think it would have done as well. Because I mean, Neil Gaiman is huge in our world in comics, but before that show and his other shows, he wasn't as widely known to the regular person. In books and comics,
Right.
yes, but and I think also with like the media and everybody latching on to Keanu Reeves, it was because, hey, this actor is going to write a comic now. He's changing the way everyone sees things, or something like that. Neil Gaiman, he's been writing comics for forever, so maybe the media isn't latching onto it as much because he's writing another comic, even though it's huge, like I said, in our world, but not so much in the regular media, anyways.
Gotcha.
Yeah, precisely.
All
Neil
right.
Gaiman isn't a personality outside of books, of comics. Sorry. Well, yeah, outside of comics and books. If it were, for example, Stan Lee, he was a personality outside of comic books. They saw his face, everyone knew who he was. Neil Gaiman doesn't do that sort of himself. So if he could, maybe he would be making much more. Who knows? He's much more modest on that aspect. So yeah,
I
Keanu
think having
Reeves
Terry
is-
Pratchett on that book
Keanu
was
Reeves can get
probably
you.
helped a lot. I mean, having Terry Pratchett on your book couldn't hurt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that one.
Yeah, of course.
Who was the guy that wrote he was the spiritual successor to the Wheel of Time guy, and
Robert Jordan.
Was that Brandon
Oh,
Sanderson?
Brandon
yeah,
Sanderson.
made like $4 million on Kickstarter and broke
40.
the whole system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
40 million.
Yeah, well, I'm talking like in the first few hours he made $4 million
yes.
and broke
Yeah.
Kickstarter.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was nuts. But you know
I think
what?
he holds the record. Yeah.
Randy, you got any thoughts on it?
On what?
Oh, on the whole thing with like Neil Gaiman and like why is it no one's
Well, like I
really
said, it's just such a nice product in general, and it's a recognizable outside of the comic market. It's not Keanu Reeves sitting on a toilet making a video about how comics are awesome. So plus the thing that drew me to the project was Colleen Doran, because it's nice to see her getting a high visibility project like this, because she's really good. So
I mean, the ironic thing about it is that the only reason they're on Kickstarter because no publisher would touch it.
which is weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to me, but I'm not a publisher. Well, I'm not a book publisher, so
it's a Terry Pratchett in the book. I would have figured a way out to publish it if they would have came to me. I'd have been like, yeah, I'll fucking mortgage my house. I don't care.
considering the quality of some of the James Patterson graphic novels that I've seen, I don't know why a publisher wouldn't have jumped at it.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Yeah, I think they're saying it's going to take 2 years for it to get completed. Like that's how long it's going to take her to fully render it out.
Yeah.
And they probably just didn't want to pay her, the upfront fee, for her to sit down and just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, which is, and now I'm pretty sure they're all going, damn it.
Oh yeah, no,
could've
she
been
said
out.
that after the Kickstarter, started really making numbers, publishers started coming to her.
I'm sure.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
got a couple
I'm
of
sure.
offers already, and it's like,
Hey, you're successful, I guess. Let's get some of that money.
Exactly.
Yeah. How do we get a cut of
Money?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smell a
How
little
can I
bit
get
of
my
that
hand in your
green.
pocket?
Yeah.
Somewhere out there's a publisher that's really regretting a bad call.
Oh yeah, there's definitely an editor who's like smacking the shit out of themselves. But Michael has an interesting question. He says, "Are there positive or negative aspects of simultaneously crowdfunding on different platforms for the same project?"
Well, one, Kickstarter doesn't allow it.
Yeah.
Unless you do something distinctly different with the book, like say, if you want to run the same project on Indiegogo, it has to have something completely different from the Kickstarter, or else Kickstarter will ban you.
Yep. And then you can't cross promote them either.
Yeah.
And The real problem comes in the fact that you're splitting your backers and your audience at the time. You want to try to get them all in one location at a time. That way you can, when you're crowdfunding, you want to get them all in one location at a time, and then you can move on to the next crowdfunding platform, and the next crowdfunding platform, and then the next crowdfunding platform if you want to do it that way. But putting them all up at once, that would probably not be a good plan.
Yeah, I think I've only ever seen the Common America guys do it, and I think
they do like
not-
$100,000 campaigns, so
right. Yeah,
They can do whatever the fuck they want.
those guys.
Yeah.
But they're the only ones that I've ever really seen do it. So, but yeah, I would always suggest like do one, wait till it's done, then do the other one. That's what I would suggest. It's just I wouldn't do them at the same time, because then also you're going to be splitting your time promoting two separate platforms at the same time, so it's not really going to make much sense.
Yeah.
Randy,
come over.
The risk
on
I see,
but come over to Indiegogo and back it. And people get confused.
I'm sorry, Guido. What were you going to say?
He's still on a delay.
No, I was going to say that the only risk that I see, well, I wasn't aware that Kickstarter doesn't allow it. That's new for me, so thanks.
Neither.
There is a very latent risk that Kickstarter doesn't have flexible goals. So if there are people that instead of backing the Kickstarter are backing you on Indiegogo, you do not reach your goal on Kickstarter, you do not get paid on Kickstarter. So that's a latent risk there. So it's not wise, and for many reasons, all the ones that we pointed out.
Yeah, that's why I would also say do it on Kickstarter first, get whatever funding you get, and then go on something like Indiegogo, one of the other platforms that'll allow you a flexible goal. So then whatever you got, you're producing the book anyway. So then that way, whatever those fans order, they're going to get. You know? So.
Yeah, and I believe Fund My Comic will let you take those totals from the other platforms and announce it on your campaign, so that folks looking at the campaign will know it's definitely going to be coming out.
Right.
So.
All right, cool. Randy, you got a question?
I was pulled into this at the last minute.
I know. I know.
Me too, sir. Me too.
I'm learning as everybody's talking. I haven't looked at the only other campaign that I've run was on Indiegogo, and that was a couple of years ago before I went down on my little vacation, and I had nothing but well, outside of the person I was doing it with, had nothing but a good experience on it. So I can't, the only other campaigns I've done have been over on at Fund My Comic, and that one was the Fool campaign was low because I didn't market it enough. I didn't get out there enough and promote it, and I was really just looking to see, what I would get, hoping just to get enough to cover the coloring anyway on that book. So the next one will be a lot more vocal, but I really don't have a firm question. I think we've answered your query there at the start about wanting to be in different programs or be on different platforms and try to find as many different distribution systems as possible to get your product out in front of as many eyes as you can. So
for sure.
All right, cool. Well, listen, I got a question for everybody, right?
Cool.
So here's
Thank
one.
you.
No problem. Oh, here's one that again I've been sitting around navel gazing for some reason. So, what is your true goal in comics? Right now, when I say that, right, they're different things. So I'll give my answer first, right, just so you can try to understand where I'm going with this. Like, for some it's money, for some it's fame, for some it's fortune, right? But is that really your true goal, right? When I sit down and write, right, my true goal is I like to envision places I've never been. I like to close my eyes and see worlds I've never been to, right? That's why I have this conversation with Daphne all the time. I will go and see a crappy movie, and it'll have nice visual effects,
Mhm.
and I don't care it's a crappy movie because I
Yep.
just saw some interesting visuals that have stimulated a portion of my brain that I was not able to stimulate on my own,
Mhm.
right? And if I want a good story, I will go write one. I will go write my own, okay? But that other portion, I can't do. So that's a part of my goal in comics, right? Is to create these worlds that are like beyond anything that I know for myself, right? So I share though, and I share that. So that is like my goal in comics. That's one of them. Obviously, we have multiple goals, right? But that's one of them. So tell me, what is like one of these other goals other than the obvious, rich, famous, blah blah. You know, whatever these obvious goals are, right? What are these other goals that you might have when you're actually producing work? What is it something that you're looking to do? Um, I guess Sean, you're up.
Yeah. So with my stuff, I mean, just starting out, I just had this idea and I just had to get it out somewhere. So I just wanted to be able to expand on my whole idea and just continue on just the process. And really, another thing too is just show my kids, hey, you can do anything you want. I mean, that's a big one for me right now is completing this first book. Look, you can do. You can't have anyone tell you can't do something. You can do anything you want in the world, and there's a way to do it. You just have to work hard at it, and that's the goal. And of course, I want just everyone to see my idea and have that aha moment like I've had for 2 decades of reading comics of that most amazing book ever. I want someone else to see my book and think the same thing.
See, that's good. I like that. Nice.
Yeah.
Guido, what are your thoughts?
Well, aside of the from the obvious that you stated, yes, I want to create something that people love. I want to make them la laugh and cry, get thrills, whatever. Aside from the joy of creating, I I really want to how can I put it? I want my books to be something that sticks in the collective mind, something that gets people's gears grinding on and trying to something like getting the fans to expand upon the stories that I create themselves. For example, how can I say it? I want fans to start wondering and making up fan theories and whatever. Uh, possibly not the possibly maybe not the X-rated furry fan arts, but other than that, yes, I want fans to look at my stuff and say, "Hey, I think this relates to this," or why is this guy doing that? Oh, I think he, I think on the other issue he did something that might indicate that this is how he responds to these situations. I want people to start wondering and coming up with their own explanations and maybe coming back to me and asking me, "Hey, why is this happening?" And then I can just make stuff on the run, and that's how uh, that's how the fanfare expands, right? I don't know. I just love being part of the world where the fandom contributes to all of this, and I want that to happen to my stories. It's weird, but yeah, I just love being part of that, of the wondering what goes on, what the hell was the writer thinking. Okay, then yes, ask me, and I'll tell you what the hell I was thinking, or why, as why I think, or I can give you maybe an explanation for this, for that. Yes, sure, and maybe the in the future. I want I want to create something that evolves. What I wanted to round up. Sorry.
Mhm.
Mm, all right.
Sorry, I branched out a lot, but yeah, that's the general idea. I want my story to evolve thanks to to input feedback from the fans. That's it.
All right, cool. That's how
Yeah.
you want to create another Cthulhu mythos.
There you go.
Or you're
That's
gonna
what
end up or you're gonna end up fodder for Rule
I wish.
34.
There you go.
I just like
Matt.
telling stories, man. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
forever dungeon master. I've been a game master, dungeon master for 35 years now. So I've been telling stories forever. I've been a writer for 20 some years. And being able to do it visually, it was a no-brainer. Being able to just be able to take things that I've written and give it to an artist and say, "Hey, make this happen," and then see what they do with it. And it's just, you're just like, this is fantastic. I just created something out of nothing. Something I thought of now exists as a piece of paper in a book in my hand, you know? So I can do this now, and I can show visually what I really have been trying to tell you for the last 20 years. I can visually show you what I was talking about. And I think it helps with people connecting to the material, having the visual representation of it all, because I mean, we've been drawing on cave walls since 30,000 years ago, so
At least.
visuals are important to people.
We were drawing before we were drawing before we created fire.
Exactly.
Nice. Randy, what are your thoughts?
Well, for me, it's just I fell in love with the art form when I was a kid. I really attribute the art form to keeping me somewhat sane, growing up and going through life in general and the basic hazards of life and maturity. But comics for me are the ultimate form of expression, the ultimate form of communication. It's nothing else that I'd want to do, is that combination of words and pictures. That's why I like to do a lot of different things in a lot of different genres, almost a scattershot type of thing, because there's so many different things you can do with this medium, and a lot of it has either not been done or hasn't been done in decades, and it needs to return. We need to have the variety out there that you see in manga. We need to be able to reach the audience, younger kids audience, like Dogman and Cool Cat Comic Club does. That's what I'm there for. When they did this hashtag about comics broke me, I was trying to do another hashtag that said comics saved me, because that's how I feel about comics. If there's somebody out there who enjoys a story or who loves a particular character or a series that comes up to me at a con and tells me that they read the book, they understood the book, they loved the book, that's more important to me than gold. I'm telling you.
Well, yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Nice. Daphne?
Oh, it's either that or it manifests, or everything in my head manifests as a mental illness.
There you go. Yeah, do this or go nuts. Yeah.
Also, I got addicted to adding to this pile.
There you are.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I kind of like want to keep going and just add to it.
Can't stop.
Yeah, it's like JD's in the chat and he's saying it's like
Coping mechanism.
How are we prepared to pivot, right? If Kickstarter ceased functioning tomorrow, and it's like I would just keep adding to the pile. That's what I would.
Yeah.
It's
We'd find another way. There's always got to be another way.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you brought it up because I was shadow banning him.
Indiegogo.
Oh, okay.
In the comic.
Yeah, but yeah, like for me, it's finishing my books. You know, it's like, especially lately, I've just been in kind of like this really weird very aware of mortality kind of thing, and it's just kind of like not a it's not a good look, but you know, it's just like, you know what, I gotta finish these books, and it's kind of like that's kind of what's pushing me forward at this moment. And it's like, yeah. So if Kickstarter disappeared tomorrow, it's like that train is still moving.
I got a bucket list right there.
Yeah.
A list of projects that I already have to do.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Memento mori.
Yeah.
what it
Remember
Memento
your-
Mori, yeah.
I got one of those.
Yeah.
So Daphne, pull them up.
Oh, yes. Let's see.
Look at that. It's the Out of Obscurity anthology, Arrow Comics, group of talent resurrecting, rebooting a bunch of public domain characters like Solomon Kane and Korak.
I thought that was $1.4 million to start.
Yeah,
out with.
I know. For a split second, I thought that.
I was
No,
like,
no.
Jesus! Way to go, Randy!
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah. Our goal on this is low. It's an anthology book. We're not walking into this with huge expectations, but it is a fun product. I didn't even know I was a part of it until Luke called me up and said, "Hey, your monkey's going to host this book, so I need some illustrations." And I says, "Well, I'll tell you what. If we hit the goal of our goal, I'll throw another story in there because I've had a story gnawing away at me that involves the Golden Age Daredevil and Silver Streak that I've wanted to do for a while." And this has got a great collection of stories. Some old characters, some just accidentally falling into public domain characters, some other great, just fun stuff. It's all a collection of self-contained stories using these characters to try to bring them out of obscurity and back into the limelight. And who knows where these properties and these characters will go from there. And the monkey narrates everything. So
nice.
He's the host. A little angry monkey named Spank. So, and there he is. It's a Golden Age Daredevil. Yeah.
Nice.
We've got more stuff we've talked about adding to the campaign, an alternate cover, and maybe adding more stories. Right now, it's looking at about 100 pages total. So we don't know exactly where it's going to end up. It all depends on, how much more we generate. We have 3 days left to go on the main campaign. We've passed our goal. We're at like 122%. And we're just going to keep going from there.
That's all you can do, man.
All you
Keep
can
on
do.
trucking.
Yep. And if this one's turns out to be really successful, there's a lot more where that came from. So that's over at Fund My Comic right now, Out of Obscurity. Just look for it. You can run the trailer if you want. It's got the monkey in it. Luke spent a little bit of time and did some animation on it.
I think my sound should work. My sound should work. So
and it doesn't.
No.
Just a couple monkey drawings, and showing off the stuff, the Bronze Terror. And that's an old Lev Gleason property. The Golden Age Ghost Rider. Great Western. Solomon Kane from Robert E. Howard. That kind of ties into another project I'm working on right now with Russ Leach that will be running a campaign here for shortly. Korak, Son of Tarzan.
Nice.
Just a combination of different characters. Super old guy. Some old superhero dude. And the Tower of Time Forgot. I'm not exactly sure where that's from, but Spank will be introducing it. So it's got an interesting little anime look. Yeah. And the Clock. This is the first kind of pulp character to make the transfer from pulp magazines to comics. So it's an old-time pulp adventurer character, all in Out of Obscurity.
Nice. I like the logo too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Luke.
So good.
Luke Stone did that. Luke Stone's been coordinating all of this. He's got the talent together. He's been putting it all together. And like I said, he calls me up right before the campaign started. Hey, send me some pictures of your monkey. I'm going to animate it, and you're going to host our anthology. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So I think I figured out what's going on my end. So let's So I apologize for not having sound on it. Although I heard the entire thing and it was really
Just
fun.
an angry monkey talking.
Yeah, just an angry monkey.
Yeah. Basically said everything I did. So, yeah. Thanks for showing it off. Take a look at it, folks. It's over at Fund My Comic. Excuse me, fundmycomic.com. While you're over there, take a look at the Fool campaign. That's still up and available while we fulfill it. So we've got copies in house. It looks beautiful. I'm really proud of it. It's got some great colors by Patrick Gama in it, and it just turned out really good. Patrick's already colored another book for me that I'm lettering right now. We'll do a campaign for in a little bit, and then I'm working on another project with Russ Leach that we'll have out shortly. That's the very first sword and sorcery, American sword and sorcery tale. That'll be in a large graphic novel. It's going to run, I think it's 68 pages. It's a great, great fun story.
Are you still having problems with the audio?
No. You want me to play the video again?
Oh, you don't have to. It basically said everything that I told you, but
right.
Yeah.
Want to listen to my angry monkey voice?
Okay,
there you go.
Yeah, I think where is he? Oh, yes. Yes.
There we
are.
Wow.
There you are. And now
all right, so let's
completely different.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it will work now. So let's see.
There we are. Yep.
I wonder what this one's about.
The cameraman would hold still. You could read that.
Exactly.
He's scared.
The zombies are coming.
Mm-hmm.
No, but this is Ninja Bimbos versus Zombies from Deep Space, issue number 3. This is the time when the girls actually come in contact with the mysterious stranger that saved them, and she basically tells them that they're out of their league and they need to come with her if they want to live. That's what the line there. See, I put a line from Terminator in every one of my comic books. And come with me if you want to live is in the book. So then they end up having to go through. She ends up killing more zombies because you can't ever have enough zombie gore. And then the girls are determined that this girl's probably their best chance of survival, so they need to stick with her. And then they end up heading back to her dojo, which is where they end up running into more zombies. So you can't ever have enough zombie killing in your zombie in your bimbo zombie book. That's basically a B movie. I mean, this is our B movie comic book, so it's super fun to write because you can do whatever you want with it, and it doesn't have to take itself too goddamn seriously. You know, it's one of those things where you're just like, I want a crazy homeless guy to accost these girls in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, and I'm going to do that now. Those are the not safe for work prints, which you get when you purchase the not safe for work cover.
Nice.
Any not safe for work cover that you get comes with those prints because we just throw them all in the back of the bags when we bag and board the prints. You can get it on digital either way, and then you're not safe for work or safe for work. And then we've got just all sorts of combo collections that you can grab up that's got all our other properties in it. It's got catch-ups. It's got the full Mary Machine Gun catch-up, which is the entire first story arc of Mary Machine Gun. And then you got everything that we've ever done. And they're all cover A's. And then we got some add-ons like a calendar for 2024. Those are 6 pictures. We've got 6 more that are done. We're just not showing them to you because you got to buy the thing. And we have reached the secondary card to be released. So Micah's card is released, and we're about halfway from 4,000 to 5,000 to get Leah's card released. And then we've got Rachel's card next, and Elsie Freitas' bookmark. And then Fran, the guy who did the pencils for the book and the inks, Fran Cord. That's his sticker there. And then we've got the poker chip that we do every time because everyone loves the poker chip. Book's finished, and we're going to print it through Comics Wellspring as soon as we get the money from Kickstarter. So it's bang, bang, just roll it around again. Just do what we do. Fulfill comic books.
Nice. Now, this is how many for the year so far?
That we've done so far, I think 7.
Nice. And how many more left?
At least 2, maybe 3.
Okay.
So, I mean, we've still got Human Hunters 4, which is coming out for sure, and then Love and Madness, which should be out for sure. We've got a card game that we're working on with Chris Brown that will be crowdfunding. That's based on Ninja Bimbos. It's the core of a card game that's got a whole bunch of different characters, and the Ninja Bimbos are the core of the characters that can be used for the card games. It's a battler game where you can fight each other or you can fight a big bad together cooperatively. So it's actually pretty fun. We played it a few times just over the internet, over StreamYards, and it was really interesting. I liked it a lot. But yeah, the art looks fantastic. Everything looks good. So colors are sweet. I mean, colored by Adam Ramos and lettered by SK. Super dude. SK is a great guy. So go ahead and pick it up. We're already halfway to being done with the campaign. We're a little over halfway actually done with the campaign now. And I'm thinking, here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Campaign length. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or the full 30 days? Because I'm thinking of going to 2 weeks.
I'm doing 3 weeks on this current one.
That's what we've been doing lately. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking
Yeah,
2.
3.
Yeah. The next one after this is going to be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just all experiment. But I'm also doing another one that's going to do the full 30 days.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm just experimenting. Well, hold on. I got something. I don't know if Epic Fantasy is just trolling, but this is kind of funny.
Thing is, I'm kind of glad he brought that up.
Well, yeah, of course.
You
Yeah.
know?
Crowdfunding is terrible. It's just an excuse for ill-disciplined people to not do the work. All right. I don't think any of those people are here on this panel.
All our books are done.
But this comment is the issue. Bad precedents have been set, and that is what's followed far too often.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. And then he also has exports all the risk to the customer /victim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was a conversation that me and Jose went back and forth with. Is that, my whole thing, and I'm sure, because even Max put it on his campaign as well, is that I don't do a campaign unless my book is finished. No book, no campaign, period.
Correct.
And I didn't think that was too controversial of an opinion. I mean, campaign that I'm running now, the proof is right here. It's proof, it's done, it's ready to go. But I have gotten so much pushback on that idea. And I think that Epic Fantasy kind of like touches on that it's like, what it is that a lot of ill-disciplined people, they see crowdfunding as an easy way to make money, and then the next thing you know, you're not seeing a book, if at all, for like, for years. I mean, it's like, and we're talking about we've seen actual professionals do this.
Mhm.
You know,
We've had this conversation too.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think we put too much pressure on those people that come from Marvel and DC who have titles that we refer to as professional,
yeah,
because
but
they may be a professional artist,
uh-huh,
they may be a professional writer or
Yeah.
a colorist or something, or letterer, but they're not necessarily professional comic book creators
yeah,
in the sense
Yep.
that they don't know how to publish, they don't know how to manage time, they don't know how to align with a printer or a shipping company, or all these other different things that all these different facets of the business that we have to deal with. You understand? So when one of these people come in and they call themselves a professional, I always have to sit back and be like, we'll
Right.
see.
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
that
see.
it's like, yeah, and it's like it really, that conversation really changed. I really had to change my thinking, of like, just because someone is on doing a Kickstarter doesn't mean they're professional enough to see it to the end.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it's like, yeah, I've been burned on Kickstarter too, and I know that for a while Indiegogo was infamous for it.
Mhm.
And it's just, yeah, and the thing is, though, it does make us all look bad. I mean, I shouldn't have to say my book is done and ready to ship as a selling point, but
Yeah.
it's that bad out there that it is a selling point. That
Right.
it's like that I can say, it's like, well, my book ships 3 to 4 weeks after the campaign ends, so you can pledge with confidence. I mean, it's ridiculous that we have to say that.
Mhm.
But
But
yeah, it's like,
it is a selling point.
it is a selling point. And I think that too, and I think also too, is that too many of these people, they use Kickstarter's verbiage of how this is it's like this is not a sales platform. That's to protect Kickstarter. It doesn't absolve the creator from the responsibility of creating the project that they're crowdfunding. But they use it as that.
Yep.
It's like, well, you're taking a risk. It's like, no, we shouldn't have to take a risk. This is comics. We know how the sausage is made. We know that it's not difficult to do. And if you're running a campaign and all of a sudden it's like, all of a sudden it's complicated, it's like, nah, you never should have been on the platform to begin with.
Yep. Well, and here's the thing, though. It is complicated to do. The problem is it's easy for us because we've done it so many damn times that it's easy.
Right.
Because we make it look easy. It's not that it's easy.
Right. But you know what? But these people who do that, who it's like, they come on to crowdfunding and then it's like, and then don't release their book. It's like a 32-page book should not take 5 years.
I agree.
Yep.
That is just somebody, who just, they're not doing the work. They're ill-disciplined and they're not doing the work. I agree, Epic Fantasy.
Yes. Daphne, pull up Sean's campaign.
Okay. Which one is that?
The Fog Within.
The
The Fog Within. Here we go. Okay. I have all these tabs open. Please excuse me.
Her computer is far better than mine. Mine would just start choking.
Well, first I want to say, since I'm the new guy, it's not 100% complete, but I definitely made sure that the pencils were done before the pre-launch was even started. And the inks are pretty much at the end, and colors are right behind them. Letters are up to page 15 out of 24 already formatted and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely don't want to be that guy because I couldn't live with myself if I was. So yeah, I'm hoping by the time that the Kickstarter is complete and the 3 weeks, when the payment comes through, that it'll be done and I'll be able to start going to Comics Wellspring for the entire book and be way ahead of schedule. I put December on there, but I want to give me that, that time.
Yeah,
if
always give yourself extra time.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather have it done early and everybody's surprised than be late.
You want me to run the video? I'm pretty sure my sound still holds.
If you want, it's just images of the book itself.
Okay.
Blood
Yeah.
Rave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So The Fog Within, it's a dystopian sci-fi book. And it's also got some powers in it as well. Basically, the idea came. I was on a run and saw some fog in the morning, and thought, if I went through that fog, and what if I was in a different place? What would it be like? And this is what exploded in my brain, basically. And I started the whole process of figuring out how to outline the whole book and the Kickstarter process and just being a creator in general and everything. But The Fog Within, so basically in the present, there's a catastrophic event. It's some kind of strange nuclear attack no one's taking the credit for. And a little bit after that, our main character, Hunter, he was the one in that first cover. He goes through fog and all of a sudden ends up here. And his journey figuring out what the heck is going on is also the reader's journey to understand this new world where there's an overlord, and there's rebels trying to take on that guy. And there is a prophecy as well of someone coming through this fog that's supposed to be the savior of everyone, and he has no idea what they're talking about. So there's the big thing in this one is the rebels, and they're working together. And in the second cover, up at the top, there's a rebels variant, and they don't go by their real names anymore when they're in the elite squad. It's Alpha is the big brute type guy, and then there's Epsilon. She's great with the sniper, and you don't want to mess with her. And then there's a guy named Zeta. He's a younger guy. He's more using his brain and technology to fight the swarm with it, which is the militia, the soldiers that are controlling this area where this nuclear attack happened. And everything is based 26 years into the future. What Hunters has missed. Yeah, so that if you go up a little higher to the covers, I can explain a little bit more too. And there's a big part of it is mystery with who, in the first issue at least, of who the Overlord is, the villain. So this is the villain cover right here. If you go back a little further down.
Oh.
So that's the villains. You got Hunter in the middle, but you've got the villain in the middle that you don't know who he is until the end of the book. And the swarm is the militia top left, and then you've got the other characters with him. And then if you go further down, the rebels variant, which is by Raymond Lee, which he was great to work with. So you've got Alpha on the right with his, what I've been calling basically a futuristic brass knuckles type weapon. And then Epsilon to the left. She has blades and a huge sniper. And then Zeta's at the bottom left. He has drones that he uses that also has his own personality named Addie. Artificial detachable intelligence. They go on to him, but they also do their own thing. He can control with his little remote device on his arm. And Cole is in the bottom right. He's like the leader of the rebels, trying to keep these guys together. So, yeah.
Cool. Nice. How many more days do you have left on the campaign?
So I got 2 weeks.
13 days.
Oh,
You
yeah.
already it's really tiny on my. Did you already fund?
Not yet. So
Right. Yeah,
51
it said
I have
2,500 goal.
Okay.
Yep, about $800 more.
All right. Listen, I don't see any reason why I think you're not gonna have a problem making that. So
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
think you'll be able to do it in 13 days. Not an issue.
Yeah.
Very
But it's
nice.
been great. I've enjoyed all the people in the group. David Dion, he's been my penciler the whole time. I fell in love with his stuff as soon as I saw it. I've got Sandro. He is my inker, and then I've got Josh Rodriguez as my colorist, and I've got his name's Justin from Letter Squids. He's the letter formatter designer, and everybody's been great. So, love the process.
Cool. Epic Fantasy has been blowing up the chat.
No,
He's,
no,
yeah.
and it's like no, nobody. Look, I know. I don't think you're trolling. I don't think you're trolling at all. I mean, honestly, it's like, look, I'm salty, still salty
I don't know
at waiting 2.5
said
years
trolling. I'm
for
not
a
sure.
book. You know, that the only reason it came out late was because the publisher said the artist didn't have time to put it together. You know, it's like, no, these are not professionals. These are not professional people.
Mhm.
You know, so it's
Exactly.
like, no.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. But
hmm.
also, I think it looks like he's running on a delay too. So,
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's running on a
he's running
delay,
on a
yeah.
delay. So,
Yeah. But
yeah.
he makes it. Epic, you're making a lot of good points.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that yes.
Well,
That
he's
I would like.
he's
yeah.
from YouTube, so
Yeah.
he looks like YouTube
Daphne,
is
pull
going
up
with delay.
Guidos.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one doesn't have a video.
So Guido, walk us
No,
through it.
yeah, sorry.
Yes, sir.
No videos. So yes, of course. Well, so Night is a fantasy themed superhero book. It's basically this street level vigilante with mysterious origin. I'm not going to reveal it right away. Instead, I will leave breadcrumbs for readers to make up their own stories, and who knows, in the future they might be right, they might be wrong. And why am I saying it's fantasy themed? Because, well, the characters and the villains will all have will all be based on figures from fantasy, mostly medieval fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons, and the such. The main villain is a reincarnated sorcerer who's scheming a big ritual, and basically has his minions wreaking havoc across the city. His minions include are called the Praetorians, and they include an assassin who's called Executioner. Gravedigger is the girl that can raise the dead at touch and also control them, sort of like a hive mind. That controls reanimated corpses. And then there's Dragon Breath. It's a large, monstrous man beast that, on top of being really strong and really fast and vicious, he can also breathe fire. Then, a long night is Whisper. She was also a Praetorian but deserted, and is the one that comes to Night for help. So together they will try to bring them down. This is the first story arc. Um, in here, you will get to meet each of these characters. You will get to understand a bit of who they are, what their powers, their skills, and their history and motivations are. This is the first story arc that contains 4 issues, a short story that sort of sets the stage for the second story arc, and also a few bonuses, such as a cover gallery and special commentaries by series creator, aka moi. And basically, well, the commentaries uh, will basically tell you a bit of the story behind the series, the struggles I've been facing with putting it together, and some of my best wishes for the future. Basically, it's sort of a coping mechanism as well. my own way of making catharsis. It's like
Mhm.
a self therapy.
Mhm.
It's right up there with stress eating and fooling myself. But yeah, that is basically how I try to get along. So basically, the story is done. That has been a comment, a question. So yes, it's done. These books are done. The production is done. So as soon as the funds come in, the PDFs will be out and it will be sent to print. We still have 3 days left, so we're right around the corner. And also, well, we have a stretch goal if we hit 2K. Who knows right now if we will, but if we do hit 2K, there will be a free PDF bundle. If you go to updates, you can see that. Uh, what else can I say about this? Well, art is done by Mauricio Campetela. He's worked on several indie books. Most notably, up until 2020, up until the pandemic shut things down, he was the main artist for the series Fathom from Aspen Comics. Uh, Also, well, most of the book is colored by Marcus Odoms. The colors on the final chapter are by Brian Arfel Magnaye, and basically, yeah, written and lettered by me. So I guess that's as far as I can say. There will be some hopefully unexpected plot twists, some unexpected reveals, and hopefully I can take the story in ways that will surprise the reader, not so much in a shocking revelation. Not It's not going to be a red wedding situation, right? I'm not going to introduce a character and kill them in the very first story arc, but yeah, be prepared for some possibly unexpected developments. Should a person prepare for a overly successful crowdfunded project to meet projected delivery shipping status goal? With some advice you have to be ready for that. Uh, I'm not sure I'm the best person to answer this. My my Kickstarters in the past have been very moderately successful, but yes, there should be. Of course, you should be prepared to avoid delays and delivery shipping goals. Yeah, you need to find a. Depends on whether if you're handling the delivery or you have the printer do it for you. Uh, yes, that would make a lot of difference. That's the best thing I can say. Sorry.
Yeah. I
All right.
mean,
Uh, Pass the
should you
question to
prepare for an
someone
overly
else.
successful crowdfunding project? Yes. That's why you always give yourself a little extra time.
Mhm.
That and the
Yes.
fact that, there's always something that could go wrong. Like, we didn't
Yes.
get a couple stickers or cards, and now that's going to extend our fulfillment time by at least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks. So that's that's why we've always give ourselves like an extra month and a half, 2 months, just in case
Yeah.
something happens, and that way people aren't upset. Oh, my book's late. My book was late. I'm like, I'm sorry. It's publishing. Give me a fucking break.
The real key thing here is you're never going to be able to plan for absolutely everything, but your
Mhm.
communication with your backers is most
Oh
important.
yeah, that is key.
Everybody needs to know if you have a problem, admit you have a problem, tell people you have a problem, and then tell them what you're doing to solve the problem. And people will, believe me, people will love you and follow you even more for it because of your honesty and your transparency.
True.
That's what I
Daphne.
found, at least.
Yeah. Be realistic with the goals of your book. It's like I said, for me, no campaign, no book, no campaign. And I think that way too many people want to just jump on with like a couple of concept art or a couple of pages, and then they're going to figure out the rest as they go along. And it's like, you know what? A campaign is too stressful as it is for you to not have all your ducks in a row beforehand. You know, have your printer set up, you know, have a proof in production,
Preach. Yeah.
and or it's like, or have it done already before you go live. It's like, have get kind of like your shipping together, know how quickly you're going to be able to get your supplies in advance. I mean, nothing should be left to the last minute. You're doing a Kickstarter, assume you're going to fund, and assume that you are going to put out this book that you're kickstarting. Like I said, it surprises me that this is a bone of contention, but we wouldn't be having this conversation, I guess, if everybody logically ran Kickstarters.
And if you have an overly successful campaign, consider that what we call a happy problem.
Yeah.
Right.
And so what if you don't get some sleep for a couple of nights while you're putting packages together? Get everything out as fast as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You're running a campaign, you're seeing the numbers in front of you, right? So how many backers you're gonna end up with, how much, so you're gonna know how many supplies you're gonna need, what you're gonna need. Get as much stuff in advance as you can. If you need to order boxes, get your boxes in advance, get your tape in advance, get your bubble wrap in advance, get your bags and boards in advance, so on and so forth. And that's another thing. Don't ship anything without a bag or a board. Try to put it in a bag or a board. Protect the books. It's very important.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, listen, and if you're running, you're gonna end up with having to fulfill 1,000 different pledges. Let your boss know, dude. I might have to take a week off. Right? It happens. And if you have 1,000 different packages you got to ship out, that means you probably made 30, 40, 50,000, bucks. Yeah. And like Randy said, that's a good problem to have.
Problem.
Yeah. You could literally pay yourself to stay home.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I'll take that hit.
Yeah, I'll be more than happy to take a week off. Get some PTO in there and just take it off.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is though, it's like here's also another thing too. Is that, I mean, it's like, look, nothing that we do, even me doing my books myself, it's not cheap. It's like, doing the pages, getting pages, and especially if you have to outsource everything. Now here's the thing though. How do you control the cost of making your book? Because a $20,000 campaign doesn't mean anything if you spent $15,000 to make it.
Yeah.
I think the secret to that is you write checks and you do this a lot.
Checks? What's that?
Well, just the PayPal. It's really just PayPal payments. You
send the PayPal.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, Max, how do you deal with it? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, like, for minimizing production costs
on
books?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how do you control it?
Well, I mean, you find an artist that works at a level that you want to produce a book at, and you just accept what their rate is. I mean, if you want an artist that's a $200 a page artist because they're that good, you need to go ahead and just accept the fact that you're going to have to pay $200 a page for that artist. Or you could try your luck with someone from overseas. I mean, a lot of these guys, they're super hungry, and they're from places like Nigeria, where you can pay them $45, $50 a page and get epic artwork, but they're also not really as reliable as someone that's more localized or more first world, because they're working on tablets and stuff that fell off the back of trucks. and everything. You know, I mean, I've been to Iraq. I know how these people get their stuff.
That's funny.
And if you
Uh,
look at their power grid, it's all just a mess of wires on a pole, and you're just like, how is this even working? So, um, yeah, I mean, you just have to accept the fact that certain rates are going to be there, and you have to, if maybe you have to take a not as skilled artist or a newer artist than the artist you wanted to save money just to get the book made, and then hopefully make enough money to get the artist you wanted originally. You know, I mean, for someone like you, Daphne, you're lucky. You can draw it yourself. I mean,
I mean,
you're
it's exhausting, but yes,
yeah.
that's
I
how
mean,
I save money.
your artwork is only as good as you want it to be. You know, I mean, you can. I've seen you draw. I know you do. I know you're pretty damn good.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
and
Thank you, sir.
the furry stuff I liked.
That was a
So-
fun episode of House of Bob that we were on. You know, that was a fun episode.
So Sean, I mean, you're new to the game, right? You're self-financing up front. So I mean, how are you dealing with it? Because I mean, I know that initial hit is not easy.
Yeah. Well, I had a certain amount that I knew I could spend that me and my wife talked about beforehand. So then I went for the penciler first. And once I had that, then I knew what I had to play with, that's left. And I just made sure to budget the whole way through, keeping track of everything. Because, yeah, it can definitely add up real quick. I mean, I was naive when I started back in December, but I've definitely been through it all through the entire process other than printing the book. Which I have an idea of how much that'll cost too. But yeah, I had a certain amount of money that I could spend, and and I have conversations with all the guys too. So if this is not something that is exact, then I'll talk to them and say, hey, can we tweak this? Can we tweak that at any point? And they're all willing. So that's been huge. Just constant communication, making sure I pay quickly so that they want to keep on going with my book. Being awesome, they're being awesome back. It goes both ways. It makes it go a lot easier because at any point, if I say something wrong or don't pay right away, they might want to leave the book because they can get paid immediately from someone else. So I want to make sure everyone's happy on on both sides. So that's how I've done it.
You got to keep everybody happy. That's the project management of the entire thing, is keeping everybody happy, which is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes, because artists are passionate people.
to put it mildly.
And
So-
you're kind of like, all right, really, you're upset about that? Okay, we'll talk about it.
Guido, how did like obviously you're self-financing as well. So I mean, how did you go about it? How was that process of getting your artists and paying for them? How did that work out?
well, honestly, that is a constant challenge. Having a budget and sticking to it. Uh, yeah, I've been working with Knights. I've been working with the same artist since we began. We had our ups and downs. There was a moment in which I thought, that's it, we're done. Let's cut our losses. But yeah, eventually we started working together, bringing it back up again. And yeah, luckily, yes, I've built. We've worked together since the start, through good times, bad times, through delays, through times when he's asking me for more work. So yeah, um, and then the rest is a challenge to stick to the budget. Yeah, you need to. There's a ton of artists that I like and that I wish I could work with them. And maybe one just needs to find the right time, because maybe my biggest advice is, if you don't see yourself being able to pay for it, uh, don't for the time being. Then if you manage to pull a successful Kickstarter and things work out and you get a surplus, then yeah, set it aside to work with that artist that you've dreamed. Also, if that artist happens to have a following of their own, yeah, uh, even better. Perhaps he can bring in some fans. You never know. So my advice is, get yourself a budget and try to stick to it as far as you can. Of course, it may also be putting a budget on your dreams, which sounds kind of harsh, but it's also kind of true, because yeah, if not, you're going to run into trouble. You're going to run into issues. You're going to run into money shortage. You're going to have to pull money from other sources, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You definitely want to plan ahead as much and as best as possible.
True. Randy.
Sure.
Literally one project at a time, baby steps. So I pay my folks as they get the job done, and in as small increments as possible, so that I can afford it, and it's not gonna, hurt my other income necessities, shall we say?
Yeah.
So one little bit at a time.
Fair enough. Daphne.
Well,
Mhm.
like I said, I do everything myself, so I save a lot of money that way. I mean, I pay out the ass in time, that's for
Yeah.
sure. But I still have to be careful with being over enthusiastic with like side things like variant covers and different papers, and oh, let's do all these stickers, let's do metal bookmarks, let's do, it's like, oh, t-shirts and enamel pins, and it's like, um it even those little things can add up really quickly and eat away at what little profit I get off of my Kickstarters so far. So I really try to like really keep that fantasy aspect very controlled. I mean, it's like, look, I had to give up my flatter for the last couple of issues because I just can't afford her right now. And it's not like she was overly expensive, but that's just what I have to do.
Yeah. It's the
Um,
reality of the situation.
yeah, exactly. And the thing is, though, and it is funny to see people campaigns get really over the top with stretch goals. That it's like, it almost sounds like you look at some stretch goals and it's like, how are you even storing all this stuff? It's like, so for me, it's like, it's not the book itself that could cost me money, but like I said, like all the things, like all like do I really need that many stretch goals? Do I really need to create so much things to give away to backers? Do I really need to do that? Does it really make a difference? So that's where I have to be careful.
Convert them from stretch goals to add-ons.
Well, right, yeah, that's true, but you could still have too much.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're still creating a new product and adding it onto the as another product. But our enamel pens sell really well. I mean, we don't sell them for more than, I think it's a couple bucks, but they sell really well. I was really impressed with them. I mean, I made them with Mary Machine Gun's first issue, and we didn't really add them as add-ons because I was like, nobody liked them. And then we put them as add-ons the last few campaigns, and we just been selling them like hotcakes. And I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, because it's been tough recently because I found out about a manufacturer called Vograce, and I guess like all the anime kids at the anime shows, they all use this manufacturer, and they just do like so much. And like I said, it's so hard to go through the website. Oh, I could do that. I could do that. I could do that. And it's like, whoa, wait. It's like, let's not do that.
Spent $10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
How did that happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I appreciate that Guido had mentioned a budget, right? I know what that word means. Now sticking to it, that's a problem. So, yeah, that's always been my issue. I know what it means, but here is something though. Like Randy, I try to pay in small increments. Like with my artists, I'm usually contracted for like 1 or 2 pages a week. Usually it's 2 pages. I got one artist I'm doing, I think 5 pages every 2 or 3 weeks. So it just depends on how you set it up with your artists. I mean, look, I've said this before on other shows, and it's just like, look, if you want to do a book, set a budget for yourself that you can spend something weekly, whether it be anywhere. You can find an artist anywhere from a good artist, anywhere from $50 to $100 or $40 to $100. Set that aside for yourself weekly and just talk to an artist. And look, some of them are not going to want that deal. They're not going to want to just give you 1 page a week, but there's some that are, because they're going to consider it steady money, right? So that while, they're doing, they might have a bigger project, they can take on other things, and they'll run you, you'll be in the sidelines, but they'll get you your 1 page. You say, look, every Monday or every Tuesday, just give me 1 page, and that'll be it. And then you just send them their money. And a lot of them are happy.
Half a year.
Yeah, right. And a lot of them are happy to do that because, like I said, it's steady. Because sometimes they'll run out of that big budget job, or they'll run out of those 50, 60 pay. They'll run through and then that guy who was paying them that money, they're like, well, we're done. Your contract is over, but you're still there giving them money, till the next guy rolls over. Or till the next guy rolls in. So that's one of the things that I think everybody should consider. Talk to these artists. You got to talk to them because, like I said, a lot of them are open to these types of little deals, and you just don't know until you know, right? So, like I said, it's worked for me, and I have amassed quite a bit of stuff. But like I said, that thing with budget, I don't know what that is. So, Des, I don't know if you want to pull up the other stuff.
Okay, well, really quick, let's because since JD Rosario is not here with us today, but his campaign is still alive, so we could at least talk about it a little bit. So thank you to the 80 backers who have raised $1,908 so far. He's so close to his $3,000 goal, but there's 12 days to go, so there's plenty of time. But why wait? So just really quick, like these are all the variant covers that he has for the campaign. Do you know how many issues this storyline is?
4.
So it's 4, and it's like, so here are some of the variant covers, and like the interior pages for this book. Also, he has a special card for everybody who is returning from the previous campaign and backing this one. So you also get a new card to add to your collection if you back again his campaigns. He also has all his other previous books as well, like Dragonstorm and Shield of the Interceptor, everything, pretty much the entire back catalog of Unstoppable Comics is available on this campaign. So if you think you missed anything, no, you did not. So everything is on the campaign. So thank you, everybody, for that. Also, for everybody who don't know, this guy up here is launching a new campaign tomorrow. Magi's Grace, Sex and Monsters is his collaboration project with C. Michael Lanning. And it's the story of a pair of monster hunters who are tasked of investigating the strange going on a seaside town, because that's where all the strange going ons always happen, seem to happen at a seaside town. So that
in New England.
Yeah, in of course,
in New England.
coincidentally.
Coincidentally, yes.
Coincidentally. So also, if Jose wants to talk about it as well, thank you.
No, you're doing great. Keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah, you're still okay. So we would like to thank the 64. Oh, look at it go up. There you go.
65.
We're
Thank
talking
you.
about. Thank you so much to the 65 people who have pledged the Oswald Chronicles. I was there, and I remember issues 1 through 4. We're past the 1,000 goal already, but it's always nice to add more to it. So this is the early bird. Well, let's see. You have enough backers that the early bird special doesn't apply anymore, I think. So this is issues 1 through 4, which completes the story arc for this. This is Oswald's technically first adventure in Dream. So it's drawn by Jade Gonzalez. That it has several variant covers as well. Does this one have variant covers? This time
it has the regular cover, it has a Jade's cover, and then one variant.
Oh, there you go, and variant covers. So you can collect the all 4 issues of this series, and also for those of you who missed our botched attempt at launching a previous campaign several weeks ago, that is also on this campaign as well. The first 2 issues of The Light That Attracts, which is this book right here. So the first 2 issues that was supposed to be a separate campaign is on this one as well. So that one, yeah. So there's a lot of books on this campaign. It's very misleading, but
there's a lot of books on that campaign.
Yeah, exactly.
Slight correction. This is issues 1 through 4. It is a 6-issue limited series.
Oh,
so
okay.
2 more issues to go.
Oh, there's 2 more issues to go. Okay, so like I said, thank you to the 65 backers with 11 days to go. And last but not least, but almost last. Since I'm running the board right now, might as well. Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, my comic is currently on Kickstarter. Thank you to the 130 backers with 4 days to go left on the campaign. I'm trying to reach 5K. A lot can happen in 4 days. Who knows? Trying for the Hail Mary pass. So this is issue 7 of a 15-issue fantasy drama series. So this is issue 7, and as I said, it is complete. I have the proof right here. This book is ready to go. Once the campaign is over, we also unlocked the 3,000 stretch goal postcard. Thank you so much, everybody, for that. Like I said, this is a fantasy series, and if you want to try it out for free, you can download a PDF of the first 16 pages of the first issue. So it's a Kickstarter that gives you something before you buy. So here are the first couple of pages of the series as well. And for those of you who like to collect variant covers, I do have some variant covers on here as well. Let me just get to them because it's a long scroll. There's a lot going on here. So yes, I have, these are the variant covers that I have to be careful that I don't go too crazy with. So I have the main cover as a silver, as a virgin, and as a hollow foil. And I also have a variant cover by Jaden Lanning, a fan favorite, at least my fan favorite, Jaden Lanning, and her cover comes in these 3 flavors as well. And I also have the infamous nude cover as well in 4 different flavors because we all love options, don't we? So yeah, so if you are interested in any of these books, the variant covers are exclusive to the campaign. So you have to pick them up before the campaign ends because they will not be available on my store. I'm just only printing to order from the campaign. So let me just play my video really quick because I'm kind of proud of it. So let me do that. And for those of you who like their fantasy comics to be a little bit more on the sexy side, I also have launching at the end of September Eagle Raven Medieval Unicorn Viking Slut. It's a parody series based on some Conan books that I was reading a little too much of, and I did a parody series based on a joke on Facebook that went out of control. So this is more of a mature audiences, kind of a separate alternative universe series that I'm currently finishing right now. So this book launches on September 25th. So if you want to make sure that you don't miss this campaign when it goes live, just head on over to Kickstarter and hit the notify me on launch, and you will get an email when this campaign goes live. So and I think that pretty much it. That's it for us. There we go.
Yep. Max had to go early. He had a situation to deal with. So thank you, Max, for coming on.
Thank you, Max.
Go check out his campaign. And, we made it to the 2 hours. Thank you guys. You guys are all awesome. Sean, Guido, Randy, of course, Daphne. Thank you guys for filling in.
Anytime.
For those malcontents that couldn't make it. We love you, but you're still a malcontent. But anyway, Sean, where can they find you and your work, sir? Please.
Of course, the Kickstarter, The Fog Within #1. Also everywhere else, pretty much as Sean Wood _writer, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Anywhere I can get my book out there is where I am with that name.
All right, cool. Guido, where can they find you and your work, sir?
They can find me on Facebook and also on Twitter, /X, however it's called now.
Yeah.
So, and of course, the Kickstarter, or on Facebook, the page dedicated to Night. It's Night by Guido Martinez. So, yeah, all of those, I'm available for messages or just to publish any news. You'll find it there.
Cool. Randy, where can they find you and your work, sir?
You can find me over on Facebook. Don't look for me over on Twitter. I've got an account over there, or X, or whatever they call it, but it's the bastion of hate, and I really don't like going over there that much. You can find me on Facebook. You can find all my work over at arrowcomics.store. Everything that's available is available over there, ready to ship. The Fool campaign over at fundmycomic.com, the Out of Obscurity campaign at fundmycomic.com, both have works or will have work in it that I'm especially proud of. Within the next couple of months, you'll see Alice in Chains over at Fund My Comic. That's a book that I've wanted to introduce to people for a long time. And working on the Shadow Kingdom with Russ Leach, which will be a large graphic novel. As soon as Russ finds the time to, he's doing unbelievable work on that. Just
he's
incredible.
A machine. He's a machine working for
just
all
doing
the companies
incredible
at the same time.
And then after that, there's a list here that includes an Anniverse Omnibus with a backup book of Varsels of Vixens. I've already got a story in-house by Sue Van Camp of Varsels Vixens. She's not sure if she's going to put another new one in there or not, but it'll have all the Vixen stories, and all the Anniverse stories will be all collected for the first time ever in one place. Everything that we consider.
I gotta make some shelf space for that.
We gotta talk to you about your time too. So
yeah.
But your Chivia story will be in there as
well.
Absolutely,
and
there's always room for more. So, and there's a lot more coming, folks. Just pay attention to Arrow Comics. We've got some great stuff. The AR13L book is available over at Fund My Comic. That's more than hit its publishing goal. It's going to be a great book. Soul Tac 4 over there by Craig White, which is like a space opera story. It's just beautiful. Just some phenomenal stuff. And there's more coming from Arrow Comics in the very near future. Just keep an eye out at arrowcomics.store and keep watching our programs. I've got 2 shows here on the Indy Comics Network, Sunday morning at 9 a.m., Friday morning at 5 a.m., but they're all archived over at the Indy Comics Network, so you don't have to get up that early to watch them. But do, when you can. We have a lot of fun over there. We're going through the I don't have it readily handy here. We're going through the Marvel Vault on Sunday mornings, and we're going through some of Hogarth's Tarzan work on Friday morning. So that's what we got coming up, and there's a lot more coming there. Just a lot of stuff that inspires us that we love to. I love to show off this stuff because, like I said before, it's what I love to do, and it's what I it's the platform of communication that I can't see doing anything else.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing comics until we can't. So. So
Also, all the links to every campaign that we spoke about today is also in the chat as well. So I at the beginning, so if you scroll all the way up to the beginning of the chat, everything is there. All the books are there.
So Daphne, where can they find you in your work?
Oh yeah, so if you want to, yeah, that would help, right? It's like if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and all my other nonsense, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. But I mostly post to Facebook because the Bird app is an abomination. If you are looking into seeing sketches and current work in progress and live updates. But also, you can also find me here on YouTube, on my channel at Daphne Lage Art, where I do semi-weekly live streams Wednesdays at 4 p.m. where I'm just drawing and talking for 2 hours and chatting with the chat, having a good time. And also, you can catch me on the Indie Comics Network as well with Nita on our vlog show. We're going to be doing another one tomorrow at 11 a.m., Mondays and Fridays at 11 a.m., but tomorrow definitely at 11 a.m. because we're launching Magi's Grace with this guy over here. So catch me on catch me on YouTube, catch me at my website, and maybe depending on how it goes, catch me on Etsy too, but not yet.
There you go. Thank you so much. My name is JD Calderon. You can find me here just about every Sunday. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all those places in the JD Calderon, DeviantArt. And also you can find me under theoswaldchronicles.com and talltalesonline.com. And just remember, everybody, all of the books we discussed, they're in the links in the show notes as well. So you can just click on those links, go buy yourself some awesome independent comics, right? And just remember, read more comics, especially ours. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Have a good night, folks.
Good night.
Take care.